son Ben seen somebody juggling on TV one day. He thought, man, that's neat. So he went back and got 3 pairs of socks that were wrapped up. He came back to the living room. Please give your undivided attention to Coach Spaceship.
Thank you.
There's the microphone if you need it.
Okay. So hopefully.
Now we can hear me? Is that good enough? Usually I can project well enough without even having one of these on. So I do appreciate it, and we're sorry for the time change, but you know, we're on different times over in Danbury Community College as opposed to Catlin, so I had to go across the time zone to get here. But it is a pleasure, and I know Deputy Gardner is mentioned about being in DARE programs before. Just a little bit of background history, so you get a kind of an idea about who I am and what we're about, and also get into the presentation. But it's been a few years ago, and I mean a few years ago, that I've actually played in this facility. And I won't say how many years ago, but it was a few, okay? And I was fortunate enough to play junior high basketball in this gym. I can't say it did a lot, but we did play in this facility. And then also at Catlin High School, and I played Bismarck-Henning back in 1968, graduated from there, went to Danbury Community College, and then went to Eureka College, about 2 hours from here near Peoria. One of our claims to fame is the ex-president, Ronald Reagan, who passed away here about a year and a half ago. So I was able to play there, and then from there I went on and decided I want to get into coaching. One time, as you change, I wanted to be a veterinarian, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down because it's echoing enough. I can talk. Everybody hear me back there? Back to fine? Okay. Now, good. And so what happened is, you know, when I did this, I decided I want to be a veterinarian. I could be on the farm, 150-acre farm, 100 and some dairy, had dairy cattle, and that's what I liked, getting around the animals and so forth. And then all of a sudden I had to go out and do some plowing and disking, and I had to go up and down the corn rows and so forth. And I thought, you know what, this is a little boring. Maybe I should do something that's a little more exciting and do something else. So as I did that and got into high school and you're looking at career changes and things you want to do, and I decided that there was a guy who influenced me, as always has somebody influenced. There was a guy named Jimmy Park. And Deputy Gardner and I had a close relationship, or did have a close relationship with Coach Park, because Park passed away when I was a senior in college. And he was the one that, you know, I looked at Coach and said, look at all the things that people look up to him to. He inspires young people. He's involved with the community. He's the guy that was a role model. And so with this role model, that's when I decided I wanted to get into coaching and to help young people. I had young nephews and nieces were growing up, and I helped them along the way with all different types of sports: baseball, track and field, basketball. We even put up a goal inside of our dairy barn, so we could go out and play after practice was over, so we could go out and play. We play on the weekends. I even set up hurdles for my nephew. My nephew Gary is now at the University of Illinois. He's the academic counselor in the kinesiology and biology department. And he used to be involved in the athletic department at the University of Illinois, where he was a hurdler. And we used to take up little golf balls and put them on top of hurdles so he could knock them off, so he got his technique going. Well, unfortunately, Gary was in a hunting accident. Helped him get a couple of scholarships for basketball. He went to school out in Wyoming, then into Minnesota, and came back. And he'd been back for a couple of years, had a good job, and he was deer hunting, and for some reason fell out of a tree stand. Not anybody's fault in particular, and he was paralyzed from the waist down. He's in a wheelchair now. And when you talk about obstacles and things that you have to go against, here's a guy who was very athletic, was a very good athlete in this area, was a quarterback, had a couple college scholarships, ended up at Bemidji State, but he didn't let that stop him. After the accident, he got to the point where he says, I'm not going to let this get me down. And what he did is he went back and got his master's degree. He changed his what he was going to do in academics. He went on to be a counselor, is now a counselor, as I said, at the University of Illinois. But the part of this, I don't think that people understand, he had that obstacle. Just getting up there in the morning is an obstacle. Going out and doing just regular, getting in the car, driving a car, had to really do all those things. He still does, is involved in athletics, okay? And the way he's involved in athletics, he's horseback rides, he plays tennis,
He's involved with our track team right now, and he's helping. In fact, he's down in Texas right now with our men and women's track team. He's a hurdle coach. He's probably one of the better hurdle coaches around. There's a lot of young people that have gone with him, and they listen to him. And he has a handicap, okay? But he's overcome that obstacle and that handicap. And a lot of people say, we know you can't do this and this. Yet every time they say that to him, he gets past this hurdle. It's like kind of ironic that he is a hurdle coach, and he gets over this hurdle. He either goes around through it, don't sure, he doesn't let that stop him, okay? And you can imagine, here you are, some athlete. We've got guys from Fort Wayne, all over the United States, that are sometimes a little cocky, a little arrogant, and he kind of puts them in their place, and he's made them better, not only better hurdlers, but better people. Because they know, here's a guy that they can trust, who works very hard, has an obstacle, has overcome that obstacle, and he's here to help them, okay? And just to show, he's went all the way down to Texas, to the national, NJCA national event, track and field event, drove his vehicle all the way down on his own, and nobody's paid for it, he's done it on his own. So I know the respect he has from those athletes. And that's just one example of hurdles you're going to face all the time as you go through life. And you're going to come across those hurdles, okay? How you attack it is going to be important, okay? You can stay there and let that hurdle stop, okay? And you can blame your environment, you can blame your parents, you can blame the community, you can blame a lot of things. Or you can find some way to get around that hurdle or go over that hurdle, okay? The choice is yours, okay? The choice is yours. As my nephew Gary, he could have stayed. I can remember seeing him when he was on his back, and for me, who I'd worked with him for a number of years and saw him grow and help him get the scholarship and so forth, it was very, very emotionally hard for me, because I was thinking the worst, because now what's he going to do? Okay? He never let that stop him. Does he have bad days? Yeah, sure he has bad days. But he's not let that stop him. Okay? And I think how you approach that, you think about it. You think every day that you get up. How many people get up every day and don't even think about it? They go to the restroom or get up in the morning, open up the door, go brush your teeth, get ready for school. Of course, mom or dad's yelling at you, hey, you're going to be late to school, or you got to do this before you go, or you didn't eat your oatmeal, whatever may be the case. Those are all obstacles every single day for him, okay? Every single day, all right? Physical obstacles. And he's overcome those, and he's going on to help other people, both in his job as a counselor and so on, and also athletes. Okay, he's been an example, role model for them to say, hey, you know what? Don't come and complain, because you've got a lot of things going for yourself. He's the example of that. You have a lot of things going for yourself. Okay? Don't let drugs, because that can become an obstacle for you. Because the other things out there is your peer group. How many people, what's your peer group? Help me out. What's your peer group? Your friends, people you associate with almost every day or every other day. Is that correct? Okay? All right. So it's your peer group. And that peer group is going to have you do whatever you want to do. If you're riding your bicycle, 3 or 4 you're going to get up and ride your bicycle, right? Or maybe you're going to go skating, or maybe whatever you're going to do, go to the movies. And you're going to laugh, have a good time. But there's going to be a time period that somewhere along the line, somebody is going to say, hey, maybe you ought to smoke a cigarette. Hey, maybe you ought to do this. Or hey, maybe you, right? Don't they already do that? Maybe you ought to pick up that rock and throw it at that cat. Or maybe you ought to, do this. It goes on all the time in your life. Okay? Now, what are you going to do? And how are you going to attack this and forth? Okay? You can't blame them, because I tell you what, and I'm sure Deborah Gardner can tell you all kinds of stories about people, well, I was with them, and I got let into this, but you made a choice, okay? There's not going to be anybody that's going to stick a marijuana cigarette in your mouth. You are, okay? There's nobody's going to get you on crack cocaine. You are. It's going to be who you're associated with. And you can come back and blame the socioeconomic system you're into. You can blame the people all around you, but you have the power of the choice. Okay? That's what this is about. It's hopefully somewhere out there when you get in these decision-making situations that through these classes and the help of Deputy Gardner in the school, that you're going to make a little better decisions so you don't have to have an obstacle you've created. Gary he didn't create that obstacle. Okay? He didn't create that. He wasn't on drugs, he wasn't doing anything else. It was an accident. It happened. Okay? But if you're involved with those things I just mentioned, you're going to create your own obstacle. And sometimes it's very, very, very difficult to get around. And I'm sure of all the education you've had with it, and the people I'm sure of, maybe Deputy Gardner's had to come talk to you. Once you're on cocaine, marijuana, methamphetamines, very difficult to get off. Okay? You need a lot of help. It's a tremendous obstacle. The easiest thing I can tell you is not get involved and create an obstacle for yourself. All right? So it's one that you want to stay away from. Make better choices. Because all of you, how many want to play, have something to do? I know you asked that, have something you want to do with athletics and sports, and so for sure you do. Okay? All right? And maybe it's not athletics. Maybe it's something else you've got in mind you want to do. Maybe your goal is to be the best mechanic, or maybe it's to be Gardner, maybe it's to be a business person. Whatever it is, it's all relative because you've got to set goals, you got to have things that you're going to look forward to do, and there's always going to be these obstacles. Okay? If you're going to go into athletics, he's already taken time and energy. An education right now, if you're going to go and get an academic scholarship or get an athletic scholarship, that scholarship somewhere in the neighborhood between $15,000 to $30,000, that's what it's worth. Okay? I know, because I put a daughter through school. She now has her master's. She's a head of student life in Boston. I've got a stepdaughter that's got her degree. My wife went back got her degree. So it's not easy and it's costly. Okay? But if you've got some talent, if you work at it, you may have that chance to get it all taken care of and paid for. Okay? But here come these obstacles. Drugs, smoking, alcohol, all those obstacles. Can it impede something? Yes, it can. Can it completely stop you? Depends what degree and how addicted you get to it. Let those stay off the side, do the best you can. Maybe you'll have maybe you have an opportunity, like at our place, a scholarship to in-district students worth $3,000 or $4,000 because you live at home. An out-of-state student is worth $5,000 to $10,000. Okay? So you need to do the best you can because those opportunities are going to be there. Okay? Now, along with this, I'm going to do a little thing here at the end I've got some t-shirts and stuff I'm going to give out. I'll open up the question and answer session. As I mentioned to you about my history, I gave you a little bit about Gary and myself. To finish this up, I'm fortunate enough because I've been involved in athletics for over 30 years. After I left business at Kenning, played 11-12, had 11-12 letters, had a chance to play college basketball, got to get into coaching, coached in Indiana and coached at Valparaiso University. From there, I went back to Danbury Community College. I've had these kind of opportunities through athletics. I've traveled to Italy. I've seen most of Italy. I was in England for a whole year with a pro team, with a professional basketball team. Got to see all types of historical events and places in England. I've been to the Caribbean 5 different times. And all those have cost me nothing. Okay? Not cost me one dime. And for the most part, I've been able to take my wife with me also. Because of athletics, I treated it right, had goals, was able to do things correctly, and from there, I think one of the better jobs in the country. I enjoy coming to do the speaking for Deputy Gardner and do the things I get a chance to touch young people because you know what? I have In fact, it was just not long ago, I had 3 great nephews and nieces and a couple of a granddaughter and a grandson have all been to the DARE program. Okay? And in fact, this tells you a little bit about the DARE program. My wife smokes. I've tried to tell her, but I've not been a very good influence on her. But my granddaughter came up to her not long ago and said, Grandma, and she gave her the whole thing. It's just not very helpful for us. It's going to, it's going to cut into your life, et cetera, et cetera. Finally, I think that got to her. Okay. So I know the program obviously is doing some good because she's been through it along with the other ones. I know they take the answer because they'll remind me sometimes of what goes on. So it's really important that you do listen to some of the people that are involved in this program especially. What I'm doing is I'm leaving up the question and answer session, but I'm also going to give you some I've got some t-shirts that I want to give away also. So what I'm going to do here in a few minutes is kind of do a little thing. I'll ask you some questions. If you can answer them, then I'll give you the t-shirts and see kind of who's been paying attention, who have. I usually do it at the end. But before we get to that, I have one little thing that I usually do, and it's just see how, see how quick you are as a whole group, okay? And what I'm going to do is do this. I want you to, as I put my hand across like this, I want you to clap. But you got to, but if I go like this, you can't clap. Ever play the game Simon Says? Okay. Well, listen to me Coach Beige says, okay? Only thing I'm not going to say it says. I'm just going to go across with my hand, and you got to clap. Now, I may go like that, I may fake, I may go across like that, I may go back across like that. But you got to stay together with this, okay? Can everybody do it? Now, I'm not going to do this if everybody's not going to participate, because it's just one of those things that's really, it's a group participation thing. Everybody's got the black shirts on, right? Can everybody participate? Well, that's not very good. I have to have it. Can everybody participate? Yes. That's about a 5 on a 10.
This is the quietest DARE class you'll ever meet.
I know. They've been great. All right. Can everybody participate? Yes. All right. One more time. That's about a 7 on a 10. All right. Here we go. Can everybody participate? Yes. All right. Good. All right. This is what we're going to do. Ready? We're going to go across my hand. You got to clap now. Now don't see. You got to be ready. I may go like this. I may go like this. And remember, only if I go across my hand like this. Okay. Only if I go across my hand, we clap. So everybody ready now? I don't fake. I might twitch or I might stop. See? A little bit slower. Okay, I'm going to do a little easier. Okay, see, you all got good reactions and stuff. You've done a good job with it. Okay, stay together now. Big hand for Deputy Gardner for doing a good job. Okay, here we go. Question and answer session, and I'm going to see how many people kind of paid attention and what I've talked about in my little speech here, and I've got the t-shirts throughout. Okay, question and answer. Anything now that you want to ask about athletics? Could be the University of Illinois. There's a big thing went on, well, almost went on to the University of Illinois today, basketball. Or it could be anything, the other sports that you're interested in that you really want to talk about. I'll leave it open to a question and answer session. We have several, we would have brought one with me today. Unfortunately, my wife got him. Jen's so scared of place was from the island of Montserrat, a little island in the West Indies, that is where the last active volcano was, and he usually does a good job. In fact, he's so good, Deputy Gardner calls him, and I'm the substitute anymore, so he's working with my wife and making some money, doing some things for her in her business. So he did say hello to you, Deputy Gardner. So he's ready to graduate. He graduates on Friday. All right. Any questions now? I'll leave it open for questions. Go ahead.
How much does it cost to play basketball?
Pardon?
How much does it cost to play basketball?
How much does it cost to play basketball? Are you talking about now, grade school, junior high, high school, or are you talking about at the college level? At the college level? Okay. At the college level, let's say that you're going to go at Danbury Community College. If you get a scholarship, it's going to cost you, we don't have full scholarships, tuition scholarships, so it's going to cost you probably, if you live at home here in this area, it's going to cost you probably about $500, probably, 600 times. a year with books and some other fee things that go into it, okay? Because we take care of your basketball shoes, we take care of your practice gear, we feed you on the road. We have all kind of little events that go on. And there's a lot of things that we can pay them if they work camp. They get to do speaking engagements like this. So, yeah. Now, if you're at Illinois, virtually nothing. You got to remember, like a D. Brown, those guys they're not really paid, but I always say they are paid because they're getting a $25,000 scholarship. Plus, if you ever notice that most of them have gotten sweatsuits, and they can do that later. They get to travel. They travel over the United States from national TV, and they got a pretty good deal going on. Okay. Now that's, those are the lead of the league.
But what percentage ever makes that?
Okay, now here's the percentage that goes, I have to go back. I used to have the statistics right at the top of my head here. Graduating high school season, like over 100,000 that are graduating out of high school to go on. And there's 600 some four-year colleges and over 700 some community colleges. I take that back. There's over 1,000. Take that back. 1,000, 1,200 four-year colleges and 700 some junior colleges. There's about close to 2,000 colleges if you put them all together where somebody have a chance to go play college basketball. Okay, and you just take that and multiply it across the United States. High school, there's 700 some high schools in the state of Illinois, 300 some in the state of Indiana. That's just in 2 states. There's over 1,000 some high schools. Okay, and you take that and multiply, you can do the figures and multiply. But to answer your question about going to a four-year college and the percentage is, it gets down to college is about 4 or 5%. To get to the NBA or WNBA, you're talking about less than 1%. Okay. Now there's other places they can go. There's other leagues they can go to. There's other, you can go overseas and play. That's a big thing. I was overseas, had a pro team overseas and coached them. Spoke to a lot of groups like this. High schools and grade schools and so forth. Right? Any other questions now? Any other ones that come to your mind now? All right. Let me ask you, is D. Brown going to go pro or not? Yeah. Okay. How many think he's going to go pro? Not this year. I'm talking about this year. How many think he's going to go pro this year? Okay. Put your hand in. How many think he's not? There you go. The ones that think he's not, I think are going to be pro. In the travels I had a chance to, about 4 or 5 weeks ago, I was in Phoenix with on a little trip and a little vacation, a little trip, and I went and saw the Phoenix Suns practice. And also, I happen to know the general manager of the Phoenix Suns, and he thinks that D. Brown this is not the year for him. Probably not. He'll be a second-round draft pick if he's lucky. Okay, but Darren Williams, he really felt was really good, has a really good opportunity. We'll get picked in the first round. But D. Brown needs a wait a year. That was his exact word. He's one of the guys selecting the players. So
he'll be a number 1 selection next year.
He can be, if the rule comes in, there's a new rule in the NBA, the rule gets passed that you have to spend, you can't leave or you can't be drafted until 3 years after your high school class has graduated. Then a lot of the young guys will get out, the guys from Europe will be getting out, and then next year D. Brown will have a chance because he'll play point guard and I think his stock, and he'll obviously the number of people going out will be less. So we'll have a better opportunity. So look for D. Brown to stay and come back. In fact, I had an inside track yesterday. Quentin Robinson played for us and played with those guys all the time over in Emery facility. Says that D's doing that just to see where he's at, and he'll be back. So hope that answers that question. Anything else? Okay, one more here, then I'm going to close it.
Whereabouts in Italy did you go?
Whereabouts in Italy did I go? Well, we flew into Rome and saw the Colosseum, the Spanish Steps, got to travel around most of Rome, then went to Florence. Florence is a great art center in Italy, with Florence. Went to the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Not, kind of everybody always wants to see it, but really it's not as big a deal as it is. It is turning, but that's about all in the town. Went to there. Went to Venice. Venice, you know, with the gondolas and the, that was interesting because that city is surrounded by water and all the canals and so forth, going to the waterway now. It's amazing just how the water level, I mean, it's right there. And that was a unique one. Then we also went to a place called Pesaro. And Pesaro is on the Adriatic Sea, and that's where we played our games. We played the games there, and then we flew out of Milan. So Italy was really, I'd love to go back to Italy again. My grandfather was born there and then moved to the United States back in 1890 something. So, and he was born around the Milan area, so I'd really like to go back. So Italy was really good. Any other questions? Okay. All right, let's see how well we paid attention. I got a couple of t-shirts to give away. I had my nephew Gary was involved at the University of Illinois. What is his job at the University of Illinois? Right here, quick.
Psychology.
No, right back there. Right there, get your hand. Right there. Nope. But not the University of Illinois. You're close. It's her not the University of Illinois. Yep. Counselor. Very good. Good. There you go. All right. See, all right. I mentioned about a young man that had played for us who wasn't here, and he lives on an island in the West Indies. What island? Back to back.
Oh, island?
What island? Yeah. This is a bit tough now. This is not easy. Right here. Nope. Go ahead. You're close. Nope.
The Caribbean.
You're right. It's in the Caribbean, buddies. Starts with an M. You're good. That's good. That'll help some of the rest of them. Nope. All right. I'll let this one go. It's Montserrat. When you go back to class, look up Montserrat. Not very far. Right in there. Close to Puerto Rico. Huh?
Very teeny.
Very teeny.
It's smaller than our county.
With a volcano on it.
Yeah. That's all it is, a volcano.
Yeah, an active volcano, not a dormant volcano, an active volcano. Okay. Now, what sport does my nephew Gary coach? Oh, quick right here. Yeah. I'm practicing. That's the thing. Very good. Good. Okay. All right. Let's see.
What is his name?
Oh, very good. Good. That's good. Right here, this young lady class. Nope, that's my nephew. Okay. Right? Back there.
Coach Gary.
Okay.
Coach Asia.
There you go. Good.
What are you going to say?
Okay. All right, let's go. We'll have one last one here. This one, I think one is a good one. All right. Okay, I was overseas. In what country was I professional coach? There we go. Young lady, way in the back.
Here.
Where?
Here.
No. No. Right here. England. There you go.
Good job.
Did you say Italy? No, England. Sorry, we'll give me another one. No, England's out. We'll give you another question real quick here. All right. Let's see one that you really honed in on.
What did you first want to do?
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's a good one. That's a good one. Right back in the back, right in the middle.
Me?
Yep.
Veterinarian?
There you go. Good one. That's somebody ready for you back there. Again, I appreciate the time to come speak to you. I hope that somewhere along the line that maybe just, you know, that you picked up some of these things from the little talk and what obviously Deputy Gardner and the teachers do. Again, people always ask me about role models. I'm going to tell you this. It's not